Yay. We are recording our 16th annual Golden Week call for 2020. And what a year it has been, huh? I mean, it's like a year we never expected. I actually heard somebody talking about New Year's Eve and saying, like, why did we celebrate last New Year's Eve? If we had known what 2020 was going to be like, maybe we would have all gone into a cave or a hole or something. But the truth of the matter is, there have been a lot of blessings which have come out of this year. I know that sounds strange. And for all of you who have lost people, who have been ill yourself, who have had a real struggle, my heart absolutely goes out to you. But I also know a lot of people who have learned lessons about themselves, about their strength, about their endurance, and about how to pivot gracefully as things change. And that is a beautiful thing. So I believe, Betsy, nod your head at me. Have you muted everybody? Thank you so much. Okay, so we have people from at least 10 different companies on this call because I've built up a group of people I huddle with on the day after Christmas from all of my years in the direct sales profession. So we don't talk company names on this call. That's just sort of one of the rules of the road. But any questions that you have, anything you want to ask, I'm going to have a Q&A time in just a little while. And I think you'll find that the questions you have are pretty much the same questions that everybody on the call has. So let me just share my screen and tell you what we're going to be talking about today. All right. We are talking, oh, well, what's that? Okay, let's get rid of that. There we go. And let's move forward a little bit. You know you're with a fresh perspective, and I'm Lynn Conway. So it's Golden Week 2020. We want to make this an amazing end to this incredible, remarkable year, a year that none of us ever would have expected. And I want to start by thanking you from the bottom of my heart for being in my life. Somebody said earlier that I'm looking good for my age, and it's because of all of you. It's because I get to associate with the most remarkable people, people who are entrepreneurs. My life has been remarkable because of this profession. I got into direct sales when I was a young pup. I was only 27 years old and had left a teaching profession and wanted to stay home with my kids. It was expected at that time. If you could, you'd stay home with your kids. But after our second was born and she was 5 weeks old, we needed money. I needed a life. And I found my first direct sales company. It was Tupperware. I mean, there's no secret about that. There weren't a lot of companies back at that time. And trust me, for all of you who are new to our profession, when I tell you I was really bad in the beginning, don't think that I'm just like being self-deprecating. I was really bad in the beginning, but I stuck it out and I found the blessings. The money, of course, was more than I ever imagined. But even more than the money, what it allowed my family to do, to be home with my kids, but to have a profession that I loved and that I was good at. Amazing. And then the friendships, which have continued all of these years. Many of you on this call, I didn't even know 5 years ago. And now you have become dear friends in my life. And some of you, like Lori Blum, who just told me this is her 14th Golden Week call, I've known for eons. And just, it's such a blessing to have you in my life. Know that I pray for you every day. I think about you every day, and I'm grateful for you, that you are strong enough to walk this path that you've chosen for yourself, and that you're strong enough to light the light for others. Because I applaud your decision to be an entrepreneur. I know many of you, this is a side hustle, a side gig. And for many of you, it's a full-time job. And you are earning more money than 95% of the females in the US or Canada because you've chosen this as your full-time profession. You choose your life and your lifestyle, and you are a blessing to the lives of others. And this year, especially, we've seen how you are able to pivot as circumstances change. I've marveled at that. If you had asked me, and in fact, a number of people did ask me in January and February about doing our business, direct sales, relationship business, about doing it online, I would have said, well, yeah, it's possible, but we don't recommend it. We're a relationship business and you want to be one-on-one or you with a group of people. And then March happened. And I saw your amazing ability to change, to stretch, to grow, to be able to make something out of the tools that were available to you. I mean, my daughter said to me, how long have you been using Zoom? And I said, I think since it came out. So I've been on Zoom for years and years, but many of you were new to this vehicle, this venue of being able to get together with people, and you've made it work. In fact, what has worked in the direct sales profession is remarkable. Now, these are 2019 statistics, but there were more than 37 million customers in the US. My Canadian friends, I'm sorry, I don't have access to Canadian numbers. So I'm sure bump that up by several million when we include US and Canada. US sales were over 35 billion in 2019. And in the US alone, we had almost 7 million direct sales. Now, about 1 million of them are full-time. And full-time in direct sales is 30 hours or more a week. But 5.8 million of them are part-time, anywhere from just a couple of hours a week up to 29 hours a week. So a lot, yes, by all means, you can definitely, I see you screenshotting these, and that is absolutely fine. There are, the DSA did a discovery survey and found that 81% of consumers are favorable toward direct sellers. Now that leaves 19% that we have to make an additional good impression on, because for whatever reason, they have a bad taste in their mouth. And we can fix that. All of us together, we can fix that. Now, the demographics, and again, this is for the US because that's the statistics I have. 74%, about 3/4 of direct sellers are female. And we've got our small little guy over here, 26% are male. And if you look at the age breakdown, the biggest percentage are between 35 and 54. But there are plenty of us on this call that are outside that age range. And one of the things I've discovered in this time of pandemic, this time of needing to pivot, is that a lot of older people my age or more, have discovered that even though they might not be able to get out of their house and carry a bag of their product into someone else's house, they have discovered that online works for them. And of course, the younger, the under 25 and the 25 to 34s, they all know how online works, and they have related to this venue that we're on right now in an amazing way. So whatever age, it hasn't made any difference to the success that people have experienced. It's been, to me, every day, a remarkable process of seeing how people have been able to remake their business and their life. So what I'd love you to do, either right now or as soon as we hang up, is take a minute to write down what is your vision for 2021. We had no idea when I asked you this question on December 26th of 2019 what that vision was going to have to look like for 2020. So I can't ask you to write down what's your vision of the circumstances that you'll find yourself in. We simply don't know that yet. But you can write down for yourself, what is your vision of how you want your life to look, how you want your health, your wealth, so your financial freedom, your relationships. How do you want them to look in 2021? I think we've all suffered from a lack of in-person hugs. So I'm going to take a second right now to reach out and give every single one of you that's on this call or watching on the recording, I'm giving you a big hug as if we were in person, because the whole idea here is we can be close even while we're far away. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I discovered this secret on December 26th, more than 40 years ago. At the time, my kids were very little. And all of you who have little kids and now in this beautiful home we're renting in Sedona, my 3 little grandkids are here, 10, 9, and 7. So getting ready for Christmas was a full court press all the way back then. And now it was this year, it was the secretly wrapping things in a hideaway room and getting things out after midnight and stuffing the stockings with care and all of that, the whole thing. And I saw here in this house with 3 men and 4 women that the women did almost all of it. That might not be true in your house, but it certainly was true in mine as my kids were growing up, and in this house with my son and son-in-law and my daughter, daughter-in-law, and cousin. All of we women were doing the bulk of the preparation. We had done the shopping, we'd done the wrapping, we did the stay up late, put batteries in the toys, all of that. So I bet many of you are nodding your heads and relating to that. So I woke up on the morning of the 26th, all of those years ago, and I'll stop this for a second so I can just talk right to you. And all the adrenaline had rushed out of me. Just like, and I felt pretty down in the dumps. And there's a lot of people feeling that way today because Christmas was the high spot for all of them that had done so much preparation and so much work in this incredible year. Betsy, if you could answer that question, that would be terrific. Barbara's asking a question. The preparations for the holidays this year, whatever holidays you celebrated, were something to look forward to. And then once the holidays are over, it's sort of like, well, that was true for me all those years ago. And I'm a pull myself up by the bootstraps kind of a girl. I don't like to be down in the dumps. Depression doesn't suit me. And so after we had cleaned up, as somebody said, what looked like somebody had thrown up in the house with paper everywhere, all that kind of stuff. After I'd done a little bit of shoveling out of the stuff from Christmas Day, I thought about, okay, what is this next week going to look like for me? Because my motto for my team back in those days was always, as January goes, so goes the year. So my team started working on the 2nd of January, but there was a week in there, a full week. And I thought, my goodness, my company had a contest going on right then. It was to earn a cruise. And I was 3 recruits short at that point. I'm not a quitter. But the thought of getting 3 recruits that week was a bit of a stretch for me. But I thought, what the heck? I'll at least make some phone calls. And I did. I started making some phone calls and I discovered something quite amazing. People were at home. It was a perfect time to say hello. Often, because this week is a kind of a time of semi peace for people, most people, a lot of people who were working were taking 6 days off and getting 2 weeks of vacation. So they had, and that's true this year, by the way, with Christmas on Friday, people have been able to take 6 days of non work time and get 2 weeks off. And so they were receptive to taking my phone call. This year, especially, the kids are out of school. And for all of you who have been homeschooling, taking care of all the virtual learning, in addition to your full-time job and your direct sales job, the obligations on you have been huge. I mean, literally, if I could pat you on the back, see me doing this, I am patting you on the back for what you have managed to handle this year. Well, this week for many people is a bit lighter because the kids aren't in school. So they have a bit less in the way of obligations. It's also a week that people look inward and they make resolutions. I'm sure you all know that gym memberships, and in many parts of the company, the gyms are reopened. Gym memberships go through the roof this week and into the first weeks of January because people are making their resolutions that they're going to get in shape. And the fact of the matter is, if all of the people who actually bought those gym memberships went to the gym, there wouldn't be space at any of the machines. But many people, they buy their gym membership with good intentions, but they never actually go to the gym. Well, this is a time of looking inward and making resolutions. So I want you to think to yourself, what are your resolutions for the new year? Is it to provide exceptional customer service? Is it to work consistently? And honestly, I don't care if consistent is 4 hours a week for you or 40 hours a week. It makes no difference to me. It is the consistency which yields the results. So is your goal to work consistently? Is it to approach people that are on that chicken list of yours? People that you've thought, I'd love to work with them, and you put all the buts at the end of the sentence, but they already have enough money, but their full-time job is already too busy, but they have said negative things about my direct sales business, but. Sounds like a chicken, doesn't it? But. So all of those people on your chicken list, have you resolved to approach them this year because they deserve it? Is it to be there when they need you, to stay visible? Dan and I had a couple of interesting examples during the pandemic of people providing exceptional customer service and being there when we needed them. We decided that there were a couple of home improvement things we were going to do. One of them was to pave our driveway. We live near the water and we have had, the operative word, a driveway that was paved with stones, which is fine. It looked really nice. And in the summertime, it was great. But in the wintertime, try using a snow blower on a stone driveway. Yeah, so I would pay the kids a nickel a stone to pick them out of the grass so we could mow the grass once spring came. So we decided that we wanted an asphalt driveway. And Dan did the research. He was calling all kinds of people in January and February to have them come out, measure, give us an estimate of what the driveway would cost. And he got several estimates in, one of which was quite a few $100s more than the other ones. But that person was the only person who followed up. Only person. And I know he got at least 4 estimates. But that fourth person continued to call him and say, hey, we just want you to know if there's anything you need from us, or if you want to get on our calendar to be able to get the paving done come spring, we'd be happy to serve you. And they probably called, not annoyingly, but from the time Dan got the estimate at the end of February, they probably called about 3 times just to say, just checking to see if you're ready to make a decision. And in the end, I said to Dan, because they were the only ones who followed up, I said, tell them we'd love to work with you because your customer service is exceptional, but you are several $100s more expensive than our other estimates. And the guy said, we'll match their price, whatever it is. And so they did. And the pandemic started, April came, they called us and they said, we'd like to come whenever you're ready for us. And we said, we're ready. So they said, we'll let you know. A week later, they called and said, we can be there tomorrow. And by 3 days from then, we had a beautiful blacktop driveway. Why did we go with them? Because of exceptional customer service. I don't think for them there was such a thing as a chicken list. I think for them, they just did their job, and they were there when we needed them, and they stayed visible. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to stay visible. And I want you to think about using this, your phone. I want you to call. Now, I know that many of you have an aversion to using this in the way it was originally designed. You're perfectly happy to do your email on it, to text on it, to PM on it. Not as happy to actually say, hello, how are you today? Thinking about you. So I want you to think about using the phone in the way it was originally designed, as a method to let people hear your voice. Now, definitely things are different in 2020, 2021. I'm a big advocate of texting first. And those of you who have been on with me for the last few years, you know I suggest you use the text replacement feature on your phone and put a few text replacement messages in there where all you have to do is type a couple of letters and the whole sentence comes up. And I'm an iPhone girl. Text replacement is a feature in settings, but I know the Android people can do it also. They've shown us how on previous calls. It's easy. Just Google it. You can figure this out. And I have a couple of text replacements. One is when I type my initials, Elsie, it comes up, hi, Lynn Conway here. And if I type TK, it comes up, do you have a couple of minutes to talk? So I can type LCTK and it comes up, hi, Lynn Conway here, do you have a couple of minutes to talk? And I can send that out and see who replies. And the important thing is that people are hungry for relationship right now. Please, will you take it from somebody that you trust? And I know you do trust me. Take it from me that people are hungry for relationships. They are hungry for the sound of your voice. They want to hear the smile in your voice. And could I send you my notes from this call all typed up for you to be able to read what I have to say to you? Sure, you know I could. Would it mean as much to you as hearing the sound of my voice? I know it wouldn't. I know because you've told me in the past it wouldn't. So I want you to use your phone to reach out, text first, say, do you have a couple of minutes to talk? And talk to people. Now, there's something I want you to do first. On my website, afreshperspective.com, in the free tools category, you'll find the No is No Problem sheet. It's called the 100 No's. If you are worried about doing this, if it makes you nervous to start reaching out to people, print off the 100 No sheet. You can see, if you're looking at the screen, you're not on a phone with me, you can see every row has at least one reward in it. And by the time you get to the fourth row, the 31st to 40th, no, you've got 2 rewards in that row, because I want you to make sure you're rewarding yourself and keeping yourself going. And you choose the rewards. Is it a pedicure? Is it an hour soaking in a hot bath, reading a book? Is it a long walk, maybe by yourself or maybe with somebody you care about? What is it? You write in the rewards, and then you get yourself going on contacting people. And the second thing you have to do is carve out the time. I'm going to tell you how much time in a couple of seconds here. It's not a lot. And then write out some thought starters. What are you going to say when somebody says, yes, I have time to talk? What are you going to say? Because it's so important that they know that you are calling to say hello. And people always ask me, how far back can you go in your contacts? I mean, some of you have 20 years of contacts in your contact base. How far back can you go? As far back as you want, because it is never the wrong thing to do to say hello to somebody. And you can say, if it's somebody that's from a long time ago in your contact base, it's been a really long time since we connected. And I saw your name and I thought I'd just say hello. I mean, as simple as that. It's not complicated to be able to let people know you're thinking about them. So you've printed off the No is No Problem sheet. You've written down a few thought starters, and we'll have more of them here in a couple of minutes. But I said carve out some time. How much time? Today is the 26th. I want you to use the timer on your cell phone. Once you've got a list made, please don't use your 26 minutes today to make the list. Go in, find your names first. Some of you have CRMs that you're putting your contacts into. Some of you have paper and pencil. I know one of you on this call has something you call your Hope Book, and it's got all of the names and phone numbers of the people you've done business with, because they give you hope that they have helped you build your business. I don't care how you're keeping track of your names. You might be using your customer tickets. It's fine. Pull them out first. So you've got names and phone numbers in front of you. And then set the timer on your phone. You can't see me. I'm pointing to the timer on my phone. And set it for 26 minutes. That's all the time you have to spend today on the 26th. 26 minutes reaching out to people. You may only contact 5 or 6 today. But to go back to that story of mine from over 40 years ago, I started doing this on the 26th, and I did it every day that week. And I got my 3 recruits so that I could earn the trip that they were offering me for the number of recruits that I needed to have. I got 3 recruits that week because people were home. They wanted to talk to me. And I had the ability to say to them, so what are you looking forward to in the new year? Is there anything you want to have be different in the new year? Are there any improvements you want to make in your life? I tapped into what was going on in their head and heart anyway, thinking about resolutions and telling them that I'd love to work with them, that we could have a great time together and it would be fun. I also got sales. I also got bookings. But the amazing thing to me was that people wanted to talk to me. They wanted to hear my voice and have a conversation. So 26 minutes today, 27 minutes tomorrow on the 27th. You're getting the drift here. 28 minutes on the 28th, 29 on the 29th, 30 on the 30th, 31 on the 31st. That totals 171 minutes, less than 3 hours of work in a whole week. How much time is that in your life? Well, I'll tell you, we have Netflix on this TV here in the living room of the beautiful home we're renting here in Sedona. And last night on Christmas night, we watched Christmas Chronicle. It's with, I just lost it, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. And Christmas Chronicle 1 was just under 2 hours long, and it was terrific. And at the end of it, I mean, really highly recommended, Christmas Chronicle. And so what pops on the screen? Do you want to watch Christmas Chronicle Part 2? And we said, sure. So we started Christmas Chronicle Part 2. It was as bad as Christmas Chronicle Part 1 was good. It was terrible. And altogether, that was just almost 4 hours of time in our life, way more than 171 minutes. The first about 150 minutes was well spent. Highly recommended. The second 158 minutes, terrible. So you waste more than 171 minutes in a week. I promise you. Make a plan to spend 171 minutes this week. You will be glad you do. It will set up your business for 2021. It will set up your mindset and your consistency and your sense of discipline in your business. As I said, you will find people who want something different in the new year, who may want to join you in your business. You may find that there are people that you will book that will say, you know what? I could use a little girlfriend time. I have been doing so much for everybody else. I absolutely could use some for me time. As my friend Lynn used to say, me and we time. And I like phrasing it that way. There's also people who have money to spend. Maybe they got some things where they said, oh, thank you very much. Yeah. And they didn't mean it. They knew what they were going to do with it. They were going to return that, whatever that thing was. Or maybe they got money. Maybe they got gift cards. So you will make sales. But on the bookings, you can have an I deserve it party, which I think is so much fun. I don't watch a lot of TV with commercials, but I love the Buick commercials this year, where the guy is looking and going, oh, from me to me, because I deserve it. So I think you could have an I deserve it party, a Santa do-over party, just let's have a fun cocktail hour together and just enjoy each other for an hour. And you will find people who are interested in working with you, I promise. And when you ask for them, you will get referrals. Because it's very simple to say, if someone tells you, you know, I'm fine, go, is there anybody you can think of who is looking for a little positive change in their life in 2021? You don't have to say, do you have any referrals for me? But positive change is something that an awful lot of people are looking for. And the most important thing is you will make a lot of people feel good. And that's so important. I'm going to make you a personal guarantee. If you contact enough people, you will make sales, book appointments, whether it's for one-on-ones or Zoom parties, or for some of you who are able to do live things, for live things, whatever it is. And you will find people who want to work with you. If you carve out at least 171 minutes in a week, you are going to improve your business this year and set up your business for next year. And I promise you, if you write out some thought starters, you're not going to get tongue-tied, which is always, that's the reason you don't want to pick up this, right? And talk on it, is you're afraid, like, how am I going to know what to say? Well, if you've written out a few thought starters just to get you going, and then you ask a question, it's going to be hard to get them off the phone, because people are hungry for people who care about them and want to hear from them. So trust me on this. People, once you get them started talking, you're probably going to have to find a way to get off the phone with them so that you can use your 26 minutes today wisely. You don't want to spend it all on one person. And get a pacing partner. There is certainly somebody on this call, or somebody who will listen to the replay on this call, that will want to pace with you, who will say, sure, let's hold each other accountable to do this time, to ask the questions, to reach out to people on that chicken list. And just another word about the chicken list. Think to yourself, as you're writing out the list of people to talk to, who do you know who's talented? Who do you know who's interested in people and interesting? Who do you know that you love to work with, even if you have said, but, I can't call them? Who would you love to work with? Who would benefit from being a part of your business and might not even know it yet, that might need to be able to explore what would the benefits be to them? And who needs to be able to have some adult relationships, girlfriend time in their life? Think about it, make that list, carve out the time, and you are absolutely going to be able to have a week which is still family, friends, your loved ones, all the wonderful things you want to do the last week of the year, but that you feel like you built your business and you feel good about it in less than 3 hours in the week. Now, I'm going to come back to this in just a minute, but I want to invite your questions right now. I want to invite you to ask me whatever it is that you're thinking to yourself, but, what does she mean by that? Or how could I do that? Or who should I ask? Or where am I going to find 26 minutes today? I don't care what your questions are. I'm going to ask you to either open your microphone, just unmute yourself and ask your question. I'd love to hear your voice, or chat me up. Either way. There's somebody. Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. What's your question?
I was just actually on getting the video on. I just got on late. I didn't really have a question, but
okay.
That, you know, while you put me on the box, I guess I'll ask something. So now with this chicken list, because as I said, I came in late. So you're talking about those people that you have just been afraid to contact for some reason,
Correct.
intimidated, or just reluctant.
Correct.
And okay. So is
just
there something
contact
that you would suggest? Is there like a verbiage that you would use that might add some confidence, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
To get that one
Absolutely,
call.
Bonnie. Tell them that you're mad at yourself. And I love to blame myself for anything I haven't done right. I love to take full responsibility for my action or lack of action. So I would just blame myself. I would say, I've thought about you the whole time I have been part of my business. And honestly, I've been reluctant to call you, but I realized I'm doing you such a disservice to not give you the chance to choose for yourself. I wanted to tell you what I do and offer you the opportunity to explore it and see if there would be any benefits for you. And I've been beating myself up that I haven't given you a call. So, can we talk? And I'm sure you have. For those people on your chicken list that you haven't called, you probably think maybe at least once a week, what's the matter with me? She'd be awfully good at this, or I'd love to work with him, or whatever it is. Thank you, Bonnie. Katie is asking, what do you say if you get someone and they don't remember who you are? Great question, Katie. You remind them of how you know them. I met you at the Christmas Bazaar a couple of years ago. Not surprised you don't remember me. But you did fill out a little drawing slip saying I could call you. And so I'm just doing my regular customer service. And I think it's always appropriate to, if you want to call it blame or credit, doing customer service. I've made a commitment to do excellent customer service in the year ahead. And so I'm contacting people that I've met to see if you need anything from me or my company. I've made a commitment to doing regular, excellent customer service. Does that work for you, Katie? Just type for me if it does. Okay, great. Sandy's saying I only have 10 customers and they have all bought in the last 2 months. Do I start with them and ask them for referrals? Absolutely, Sandy. And good for you for asking that question. Yes, you contact them and say, I so appreciate you helping me get my business started, or if you were doing a restart, helping me restart my business. I would love you to help me figure out who you know that might need my services, because I am looking to grow my business in 2021. Okay, simple. I believe in real simple phrases and words that people don't require a lot of thought. And here, I didn't bring my chip clip with me. Shame on me, because I'm in Sedona, Arizona with my family and my grandkids, and I forgot my chip clip. But I always at home on my desk have my the kind of chip clip that you would use if you opened a bag of potato chips and you didn't finish it. You roll it up and you put the clip on it. I always have one on my desk. So once you ask a question like that and you say something like, who can you think of that I might be able to reach out to that might need my services? Put your chip clip on and don't say anything else. Most of us are guilty of talking too much. On a call like this, I have to talk a lot. But when I'm doing coaching calls, I try to let the person that I'm working with do a great deal more of the talking than I'm doing, because that's how you help them dig in and say what they're thinking about that isn't on the tip of their tongue. Okay, Marilyn, how do you respond when they love the product but say, not now? And when I ask when is a better time to call, no one asks them, Marilyn, I'm not sure. Okay, let's read this again and see if I can figure it out. How do you respond when they love the product but say, not now? And when I ask them when is a better time to call you back, no one asks them, and I am not their first consultant to sell them product. Okay, I get it, Marilyn. Thank you. Just needed to finish reading it out loud. All right. What I would say is, would you like me to call you call you back? In that situation, I'd ask a yes, no question. Yes, no questions are not always the best, but in this situation, if you know they have other consultants, ask, would you like me to call you back? And they may say, well, I've purchased from several consultants. And at that point, I would say, is any of them providing you ongoing customer service? Because for the most part, those of you who came on later and didn't hear my example of the people who paved driveways, only 1 out of the 4 called us back. So if they're not getting ongoing customer service from somebody, say, would you like me to provide customer care for you? And if they say yes, say, when is a better time to contact you? Don't you decide, I'll call you in a month, because maybe they want to hear from you next week, or maybe they want 2 months from now. Ask them and then figure out a way to make sure you're keeping track so you don't let them down. If you said you're going to provide customer care, provide customer care. Oh, Janet, thank you. The chip clip changed her life this past year. Not easy to say. If you happen to be calling in from the UK, they call it a crisp clip. Even harder to say than a chip clip. Okay, Susan, yes, I've learned so much to stop and listen. Thank you, Susan, that's great. Leslie, can you give some examples of good thought starters? I have, but write these down. Hi, I am so happy to reconnect with you. Or I've made a commitment to do excellent customer service in the year ahead. I really appreciate you helping me build my business in the past. And I just want to let you know, I'm there if you need anything from me or from my company. If it's somebody you don't even know how you met them, you can say, I'm going through my contact base and I came across your name. I just wanted to touch base to let you know that I'm here if you need anything from me or my company. Honest to gosh, ladies, it's a simple, from the heart message. It's just something to say. I'm thinking about you. I'm here for you if you need anything, and I'm committed to customer care. Susie, as Lynn trained us, it's that no, not now, or is it never? Thank you, Susie. You're right. When somebody says no, the answer, the thing you respond is no, like now's not a good time, or no, like, you don't ever really want to do anything with me again. And most people will laugh at that because for most people, it isn't no, never. It's no, hey, I'm good right now. And that's when you say, when would be better for me to get in touch with you the next time? Any other questions? I don't see anything else coming in. And by the way, if you want to come in and ask a question, just unmute yourself. We'd love to hear your voice. Any other questions?
I have a quick one if you don't mind.
Go for it, Lisa. That's why we're here.
So I actually have 3 different companies that I work with, direct sale companies. And I have one collective spot where I keep all of my contact lists, and I try to keep them all separate, but sometimes people auto-populate into that group because they've clicked on a link and it just sort of puts them there, but I don't really know where they came from.
That's okay.
So what is the best way? And these are people, I have no clue who they are. They just clicked on a link. So what's the best way for me to contact them?
Lisa, you're asking a great question because a lot of people have either currently a couple of different companies they're working with or from their past. They have people that were in companies that are now no longer, unfortunately, existent. So what you're just saying, Lisa, is, hi, I have committed myself to providing excellent customer care in the year ahead, and you are part of my customer base. and you're not saying which company, you're just part of my customer base. I'm reaching out to see if you need anything from me right now. And Lisa, you're counting on them if you reach them verbally to tell you, oh, yes, I bought your XYZ. Or, yes, I've really enjoyed using ABC. Or, oh, I had a problem, Lisa. And do expect you will get some people who say, oh, yes, I've been meaning to call you. I had a problem with this. That's okay. Better that they have you and ask their customer care question than that they carry a little thing in the craw of their mouth about the fact that they're unhappy with a product that you sold them. So you're just saying, I'm doing excellent customer care. You're not saying for this company or that company. Does that make sense, Lisa? Does that work for you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Colleen is saying, after the thought starters, do you go to sales specials or ask if they want something at this time, allowing them to tell you? Yes. After you said, I'm looking to give excellent customer care and I'm checking to see if you need anything from me or my company in the year ahead, then you're putting the chip clip on and you're letting them talk to you. And if they really don't know what to say, you can say, you know, a lot of people are looking to have something better in 2021 than they had in 2020. Would you like to hear about what's going on in our company right now? And you can ask that question, keeping the door open to either sales specials, booking a party with you, or being able to say, yeah, you know, I have made a commitment that life is going to be better next year. And you say, you know, would you like to explore the benefits of working with me? It's a simple question, but anybody who has thought of it in the past, when you say, would you like to explore the benefits of working with me? Again, if it's a firm no, you can say, like, you've never thought of it, or now's not a good time. You want to keep the door as much open to them talking to you so that you're not doing all the talking. And Betty Jo is here. How do you regroup from the adrenaline drain after the holidays? I've worked harder during COVID season to keep my business going than ever, and I'm exhausted. Betty Jo, I get it. I want to tell you, probably everybody on this call has worked harder in the 9 months that have just passed than they ever have in their lives on all fronts. I have too. I agree with you. What I will commit to you, Betty Jo, I promise you, is that if you go ahead and you say to yourself, I'm going to make a list, I'm going to print off the no is no problem sheet and make a game of talking to people, and I'm going to carve out 26 minutes today. It's just 26 minutes. I'm going to set the timer on my phone. So when 26 minutes is over, I'm done. You will find that doing gets that adrenaline pumping again. It gets you moving so much more than sitting and feeling sorry for yourself or watching a bad movie. And Betty Jo, Betty Jo is one of the people who purchased in my buy one, get one free experience that I had going on earlier in the month. And I thank you for that, Betty Jo. I sent you as a bonus the Language of Success series. Look at or listen to the first CD, the Self-Talk CD, because it's all about self-talk, to get yourself back in gear and to know that what you want is bigger than what you fear. That what you can make happen is more important than the exhaustion you're feeling. If you are talking to yourself that way, I promise you it will get you going. Michelle says, you're also staying consistent in making a habit of reach out and follow up. That's absolutely true. Thank you, Ingrid. Those training CDs are incredible. And I should mention to all of you that I'm going to do a flash half price sale once I'm back at home. I can't figure out how to do it from from my little teeny computer here in the rental house. But as soon as I get home the beginning of January, I'm going to do a flash half price sale. So watch for it. It'll be about a week long, and everything on the entire website will be half price for about a week. And I want to share one other thing with you that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do a 21-day challenge starting in January that you will be able to register for. This is not a 21-day business exclusive challenge. This is a 21-day challenge where you choose what area of your life you want to improve: your health, your wealth, your happiness, your relationships. What do you want to work on in a concentrated way for 21 days? I'm going to be your personal guide through the 21 days, helping you stay on track, being your accountability partner to use 21 days at the beginning of 2021 wisely. And it's going to be incredibly affordable for you to be able to work with me and the rest of the people who decide that they want to do 21 days of challenge at the beginning of the year. I promise you. So watch your fresh ideas for a release on that. And if there's anybody on this call that doesn't get fresh ideas, so you got the link from your upline or from a friend or whatever, and you're not getting my fresh ideas, go to my website, afreshperspective.com, click on the box right here that says sign up to get fresh ideas. They're free. They come 5 days a week, super early in the morning. And it's just an uplifting, fun, or thought-provoking little tip each day. And I'd love to have you get them. Now, if you are a Gmail person, they are probably dropping into your promotions folder. So you may not be seeing them if you're only looking at your regular inbox. Go into your promotions folder and take your fresh idea and drop it into your regular inbox. And it'll ask you, do you want it for just this one or for everything from this sender? And you just say everything from this sender, and you'll get the fresh ideas every day. I don't know if any of the other providers are doing that, but I know Gmail is because I'm Gmail. So that's been an issue for a lot of Gmail people who aren't getting them or think they're not getting them, so they're not seeing them. No, I'm just fine. I just choked myself. I'm okay. All right. So, thank you, Ingrid. And Marilyn, thank you. January 1st is my birthday, and I appreciate you wishing me happy birthday. And I don't even remember how old I'm going to be. You know what? I've just lost track. I'm going to go with that this coming year. No idea at all. I've lost track. Is this recorded? Absolutely, it is recorded. And as soon as I end the recording, it'll start loading out of the cloud. And then I'll put it into a YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and I'll send it out in a fresh idea. So if you're not signed up for fresh ideas yet, go and do it right away. And then you'll get the recording. And feel free to forward the recording to anybody you want. Just forward the whole fresh idea. Okay? Good. Any other questions? Oh my gosh, I might be ending on time. That's sort of unheard of. My gosh. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. Oh, all the happy birthday wishes. I so appreciate it. Thank you very much. Any other question that is burning in you that you need to ask right now? No? Good. Okay. I love being with you. Put it right now on your calendar, noon Eastern, December 26th, 2021. And God willing, I will be right here well, I don't know here, but right here with you on Zoom all together. And thank you for being part of my life. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Lynn.
Oh, thank you all so much. I appreciate you
very
more than you could ever know. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you. Thank you, Vin.
you.
We love you,
Thank
Lynn.
you so much.
My pleasure. I love you too. Bye.